My natural lip shape is starting to come back. My scar situation being this bad is a side effect of having that crazy swelling. I'm at a point where I want to do the revision. Like, it's just really upsetting me. Time for a lip lift update. You may be noticing my lips look a little bit different. I got a quarter syringe of filler just now with my injector nurse because now that the swelling is completely gone in my lip and pretty much completely gone in my scar, like when I push down there's really not so much any firmness at all, especially on this side it is completely normal. There's a little bit of firmness still right at the scar line, but everything else below, no swelling at all anymore. And one thing I noticed in the past 2 months is that my side profile was not in line with my lower lip. Like, my lower lip was much fuller than my top lip, so I wanted the smallest amount of filler just to kind of add a little bit of volume so that with my side profile it matches. Right now I'm a little bit swollen because, as you guys remember from this whole lip lift journey series, is that I'm allergic to injected lidocaine, so I swell beyond belief. I actually took an allergy pill before coming just to try to help negate the negative side effect of lidocaine when injected on me, but I am swollen. I'm for sure swollen, but I feel like it's not crazy bad, but it's definitely a lot more swollen than I feel like normal people would be when they get filler. But I'm excited to see what it looks like when the swelling goes down. Right now you can tell it's a little swollen because it is protruding just a little bit more than my lower lip, but I'm excited to see what it looks like without. Tomorrow I have my follow-up appointment with Dr. Brace again to check on my scar recovery. It's gotten a lot better since the last month. So last time I went, we did see 2 forms of CO2 laser. We did the resurfacing one again, but on a gentler level, and then we also did the deeper plane CO2 on that scar that comes down the side. That really tightened it up a lot. And then I did 1 round of my micro needling this month just to kind of help break apart that scar tissue under my skin, which really helps with the firmness underneath. I'm not too sure what we're gonna do tomorrow when I go see Dr. Brace. I'm thinking we're probably gonna end up doing another round of CO2 laser. Just because I still have a little bit of train tracking. The texture on this side is still not the best. I'm hoping this will be the last one because that's 7 months now. I feel like it's probably going on the 8th month now of doing this, and I'm kind of over it, you know? I kind of just want it to be over and done with, but I feel like at this point, after whatever we do tomorrow, I feel like it's probably going to be the final result because we're approaching almost a year, I feel like. This has been the longest journey for me, but anyway, I just wanted to update you guys on the lip situation. I know a lot of you guys are against lip filler, but it's dissolvable. If I don't like it, I can get it dissolved. I'm happy with it. I'm excited to see what it looks like when it's not swollen, but it looks really good already, and this is with it swollen, so I'm excited to see what it looks like when it calms down in a couple weeks. But I will tune back in with you guys tomorrow when I go see Dr. Brace and update you guys on the situation there. Okay everyone, it's time for, I feel like this is my 8th month update for my lip lift. As you guys know, the other day, about 2 days ago, I got my filler in my upper lip. You can tell I'm still swollen. I just saw the doctor now, Dr. Brace, and he was like, oh yeah, it's swollen. I'm like, I know. Because I have that lidocaine sensitivity, I swell a lot with filler. It takes usually about a month for the swelling to completely go away whenever I get filler, so please pardon the puffiness of my upper lip. But anyway, we just had my follow-up appointment and he said he's really happy with the scar. It's pretty much the best it's gonna get. You can see in the lighting, you can see that shadow casting with that crevice line down there, but it's really not as bad as it was before, and I feel like every single month it gets a little bit better. I still have firmness around the area under the skin, so it's still like a little bit swollen from the procedure and it's still recovering, but overall that's the best that I feel like we can get with lasers and whatnot. That's just how it kind of is. There's still a little bit of train tracking, but not really. I mean, whether I like it or not, no matter what, there's gonna be a scar. That's what any procedure's gonna be like. Pardon how I look today. I literally like rolled out of bed and like ran to get a car, and like it's like 10 a.m. But yeah, so that's kind of it. As you can see, the line there, but it's still like firm right here where I'm pushing around it, like surrounding the area. So I feel like with time that will probably get better as well. And if it doesn't, it's something you can get filler in, but honestly I feel like in a few months, by the 1 year mark, it will probably be better. As we know, it takes a year for our bodies to fully recover from any procedure like that, and I think we're 7 to 8 months out. I'm not too sure exactly. I don't want this to be like the final result when I have like puffy, swollen post filler lips with like a bit of bruising. That's not really good. So anyway, I'll tune back in. Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is what I believe to be the final episode of my lip lift journey. Thank you guys so much for being so kind and so supportive of me throughout this series. At this point, it is about almost a year and 3 months since I had the procedure done, which is definitely plenty of time to understand what my final result is and how I feel about it, and any side effects that might come alongside with it, the differences it made in my life, how I'm truly feeling about it to this day, the inconveniences maybe it gave in my life, or the changes it gave to my face overall. Again, ending off this series, to all of you that made it to the last episode, I want to thank you all again for being so kind and supportive. And to anyone who is coming here with a mind that is really negative and really hurtful, I just want to say, this is my body, this is my choice. This is something that I was trying to change about myself for many years. We're talking like 7 years of putting filler in. That was the wrong treatment for what my face or what my lip actually needed to achieve what I wanted to achieve. This series, I didn't have to post on here, but I did it because I've always been truthful to you guys over the years. Since day one, I've always been truthful, and I didn't want to hide anything. Additionally, I wanted this series to be helpful because there's nothing out there in terms of informative, real testimonial, real experience videos on this procedure. And I know for me, when I was looking into this almost 2 years ago, I was frustrated that nobody was talking about it. And since starting this journey, and well, since sharing this journey on YouTube with you guys, there have been so many of you coming through in my comments letting me know you're going through the same thing, or you just had a lip lift procedure and it's so helpful seeing my journey. And that is exactly what I wanted to achieve by sharing my experience. This is not a series for people to express their negative input on it. It's not a series for people to express how they think it's ridiculous that I'm getting this done, or how I shouldn't be supporting cosmetic procedures, because for me getting a cosmetic procedure done is the exact same thing as someone getting piercings or a tattoo. It's something that is permanent on your body, or the only way that you can undo it is to go through another procedure. And in fact, in my opinion, cosmetic procedures are less transforming, in my opinion, than getting a tattoo and crazy amounts of piercings. So if you have a negative input on cosmetic procedures, but you don't have a negative input on full sleeve tattoos, half body tattoos in general, then I think you're at the wrong place, and I don't think these videos are for you. And to maybe think about it a little bit more, and how both forms of treatments are cosmetic and completely change the way that you look. And I think cosmetic procedures are totally fine, and they're very natural, and they can be done in such a way that is super flattering. Super flattering. But anyway, let's get into everything about my 1 year and 3 months post-op for my lip lift. and share how I feel about everything. Starting off with the scar. The biggest issue I had throughout my healing process was my scar recovery. As you guys saw, there was a whole several months dedicated to just healing my scar and trying to make sure that my scar wasn't going to become as bad as it wanted to become. And it was getting really bad, honestly. Around 7 to 8 months out, I was really having a mental breakdown about it, because it was 8 months of me driving back and forth every month to Guelph, which I tell you is an hour and a half drive out of Toronto. And it's not something I expected, and it was really bringing me down, especially because the surgeon was doing so much that he could, Dr. Brace, to help my scar heal to the best it could without having to go back in with the knife and potentially make it worse. Additionally, he didn't want to do a revision surgery because that would require removing more flesh, and he didn't want to remove more distance between my upper lip and my nose in that philtrum space. And to be honest, at this point, I'm glad we didn't end up doing a revision, because it ended up healing a lot better after that 8-month mark, after another deep round of the CO2 laser. Plus, with my additional microneedling, I feel like over time, as the scar matured, it got better and better. About a month ago, I had my 1-year post-op visit with Dr. Brace, and he looked at the scar and was really impressed with how well it has healed from what it was trying to become and what it was at. Now, he did offer to me that I could go back for one more round of CO2 laser if I feel like it, but he says my scar is still maturing. So in this time period, my scar still has not matured to the absolute permanent state that it's going to be. So you can do these laser treatments, but if your scar is still maturing, there still is room for it to continue to do different things through its natural healing process. So I am just taking it upon myself for maybe another couple months or so and see how I feel, to continue with my microneedling, to start doing the microdermabrasion treatments over the scar at home. I have some PMD microdermabrasion devices that I can easily use over there to give a surface exfoliation of the scar. So I'm going to start doing that. And of course, throughout this entire year and a bit, I have been using the silicone scar gel by Skin Medica that he provided me, which of course is one of the #1 scar recovery silicone based products you can use. A lot of you guys in my last scar recovery video were telling me to use that, and I just never thought to share it in the video. So yes, I was using Skin Medica silicone based scar recovery gel to help heal my scar. I will insert some footage of my scar in natural daylight for you guys, just because it's every single day here in Canada, like it's that time of year where it's dark at 3 p.m. and if it's not sunny throughout the day, which it rarely is, it is so dark that you need the lights on every single day. It's so freaking dark, you guys. So I will try my best to insert some photos of my scar in a really nice sunny day so you guys can really see what's going on and compare it to the before and the after. Now, aside from my scar, I want to talk about some of the pros and cons I've noticed over the past year. One of my biggest concerns, aside from the scar, was my nostrils, and I don't think I stressed that enough throughout my vlog footage of my recovery journey, because I was so fixated on my scar that I just kind of forgot about the other concerns that I have. And my nostrils are pretty much, I would say 95% back to normal, but one of the side effects of a lip lift procedure is your nostrils can seem a little bit like stretched out almost, and I really did notice it with this nostril specifically. It almost feels like it's lifted upwards like the smallest percentage, and it's something that only I would notice and other people probably won't notice, but I think that is because I don't have that amount of flesh weighing down the nostril anymore. So when I pull it downwards, my nostril looks like how it used to, but because I removed that skin that was pulling it down, I feel like my nostrils almost got a lift by like the smallest amount. One of the big things that you guys wanted to know about was the indent. You guys remember the indent was driving me insane, and unfortunately, I still, where is it? See, I couldn't even find it. It's still kind of there, and it only captures very lightly in certain light situations. And it's almost as if the flesh underneath right here is still a little bit puffy around where it's indented. but it's improved so much over the year, especially in those last few months, that I really don't think about it anymore, which is amazing because I was really like broken about that. It was bad. It was showing up in lighting, especially around the 3 to 4 month post-op situation. It was bad. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to be in any photos where the light was coming in at the side. Like, it was no good. But you can see here, like, it's really barely noticeable, and I will show the photos again to give you guys an idea of where it's at. Again, even say for example, if I did get a scar revision surgery, it wouldn't even be able to target that. It's just how my flesh healed, and you can't really go down there to cut anything out. Now, apparently there are options you can attempt to do, such as getting filler in that divot, which I might consider if it doesn't improve further over the next few months. But again, putting things in there can lead to other issues. Say for example, I try to put filler in there, the filler doesn't stay in that area and instead spreads outwards, then it looks ridiculous even more. So I honestly will probably just leave it, but if it starts to bother me or doesn't improve anymore, maybe I'll consider, maybe, who knows. One of the biggest ones is that I can't really, like, it's not comfortable to do that motion anymore. It's just not. So I used to all the time like make that face, especially when I was doing like my eyelashes. I'd like, you know, that face, it feels tight and uncomfortable and unnatural. So if you're used to pulling your lip down over your upper front teeth, you're not really going to be able to do that anymore. But I'm assuming that's what it's like for people who naturally have a short space between their upper lip and their nose. So not the end of the world. If anything, it looks better. I'm fine. And then the only other con I have, aside from obviously my scar not being the absolute most invisible perfect thing in the world, is this is funny and something I didn't even think about, is that if you have any kind of like little mustache hairs, they're now gonna be growing right there. Right there. It's weird. It's the weirdest thing. I didn't think about it, but now my little tiny mustache fuzzes are coming out from up there, when before they would, like, obviously not. But it's fine. It's fine. So if you're someone who has maybe a more aggressive mustache that you have to like bleach or remove the hair from, just note that removing that space means you're going to be lifting your actual mustache hairs up towards your nose. So just, you're warned. Didn't know about that. No idea, but now I know. But it's fine, it's fine. You don't really notice it anyway. Other than that, there's no real cons for me. When it comes to the lips itself, nose and scar, okay, we've done that. But what about how I actually feel about my mouth area and my lips? The whole purpose was to raise and reduce the space here, and I have to say, I'm obsessed with it. Like, when I look back at old photos of me, I'm like, wow, what a transformation. Like, I feel like it almost changed my entire face. And I'll show some side-by-side photos of me now in natural daylight and me before in natural daylight, and you guys will see what I mean. But I kind of tricked you all on Instagram, because for a year, I kid you not, for a year before I even did the procedure, I was like photoshopping my lip upwards to reduce the space, because I knew I was going to do the procedure at some point. It was just a matter of when. So a lot of people on Instagram didn't quite notice the difference. Some of you did, but it's perfect. And I feel like if we did any more millimeters removed, it would be too much. And let me tell you why. It all comes down to my smile. So one thing I noticed that is completely different about my face is my smile. And it's not that it is hugely different, but if I'm really laughing or really smiling, you can start to see almost my gums, especially before I got the little bit of filler in this area. You could really see more of my gum line, and I'm not used to that whatsoever. So for that, it was almost surprising to me. And you can tell if he removed a little bit more, you would probably see too much of my gum showing when I smiled. So I think settling on 6mm instead of going for the 7mm that I wanted was the right choice. And I'm really glad that I told him I really wanted to go and do more millimeters, because if we did 5mm like he suggested, I think I would have been disappointed with the result and felt like, why did I go through all of that and not be satisfied with the result? But I absolutely love it. Another thing that I really like is now when I'm speaking, my teeth here show, and I just feel like that looks really cute and youthful instead of being like, you know, talking and just having like a lip over my teeth. One thing I noticed in the comment section is a few of you were saying it looks like I had 10 years taken off, and that is actually something that a lip lift can provide. And prior to it becoming popular in a younger demographic, it actually was really popular with the older generations. We're talking people who are in their 50s and up, because as we age, that skin, it's a high motion area, and it is something that sags and lowers as we get older. So getting the lip lift helps give an image of youth and helps kind of make the face overall look more youthful. And a lot of that comes down to the thirds of the face. So the face can be divided into thirds, and you really change the ratio of your face just by lifting the lip. And that is something I feel like definitely happened with me. My ratios for my face completely changed just by doing the lip lift. Let me just move my bangs so we can better see my face ratios. But I think it's absolutely wonderful. Like, I really feel like it did help make me look a little bit more youthful, and it really almost made, like, although I didn't change, like, nothing has been changed with the actual structure of my face, but just by reducing that gap between my nose and my upper lip, I feel like it shortened my face. Like, my face almost feels like it looks shorter and not as elongated, which I really like. So now I'm going to talk about what exactly I told Dr. Brace when I was getting the procedure or about to get the procedure done, what exactly I wanted and how I wanted it done to get the look that I achieved. So when I went in there, I already knew that I wanted 7mm removed. He suggested the 5, we settled on 6, just so that we would meet both ways, because of course he is a plastic surgeon. He has so much experience doing this. He's been professionally trained in LA with the best lip lift surgeon. I can never remember his name, but he was trained by that guy. But you have to respect what they know is best, right? So even though I wanted that 7mm, I'm glad we settled on the 6. But if you do the math yourself and measure with a measuring tape how much space you originally have, and then what it would be like to remove a certain amount, it will give you a good idea of your overall results. Or you can take a photo of yourself and then measure it out on your phone or whatever, but that's a little bit harder. Aside from that, I really wanted a specific style done, because I always liked this outer corner area of my lips. I didn't have a problem with that. So I really wanted him to focus on removing that 6mm in the central portion of my lip and kind of leaving this. I didn't want like my whole, because look, that just kind of looks bad, right? If you just lift the whole fleshy bit there, I don't like that style. But if you just lift that central part, it creates a really nice effect like that. So I still get that natural slope down, and we're not looking at something that's like this, like that's terrible. So I really stressed how I just really want that taken out there. Of course, he still had to do some there or else it wouldn't work, but really just focusing the majority of it on the center part. But one of the things I love the most about it, aside from the look being absolutely what I wanted to achieve, is that I can do makeup looks now that looked stupid on me before. Because when you get a lip lift, Dr. Brace warned me about this, is that the definition of your, your vermilion border will be less pronounced than it was before. And for me, I naturally had a very pronounced vermilion border. It was almost like it still is for sure, but compared to what it used to be, it's way less. I used to have like almost a shelf of a vermilion border. And that made it impossible for me to overline my upper lip with lip liner. And I would get so frustrated watching all these makeup tutorials on YouTube being like, change your lip routine, this will change your whole makeup game, this will change your whole face. And they just overline their lips. And I'm like, I can't do that. It looks so stupid on me. But now I can do the whole overlining thing, and it doesn't look nearly like it did before. It looks believable, it looks good, and I love doing it. Like I did it today. I added a little bit of color right there where I never could before, and it gives me the ability to play around with makeup a lot more and get that real makeup, like tinted look that I've always tried to achieve for many, many years and couldn't. Lastly, I did have the impression that after I would get my lip lift done that I would never feel like I needed lip filler again. And I thought that was going to be the case, but as the months went on and the swelling in my lip went down and down and down, around the 7-month mark when the swelling was completely gone, yes, it took 7 months for the swelling in my whole fleshy area here to be completely gone, I felt like my upper lip just was so deflated compared to my lower lip. And my lower lip has no filler in it. I just naturally have a very full lower lip. And it just looked unbalanced. So I went to my injector nurse, Nurse Lynn at Bare Beauty Nurses. I don't know why I'm having Bare Beauty Nurses, Dr. Lynn or Nurse Lynn. And I told her I just want the smallest amount of filler in my upper lip just to help balance out the fullness and the projection of my lips, because I noticed a lot of the time from my side profile, it was almost as if my lip was super flat compared to my lower lip, and it was just like this was out and this was in. So I got 1/4 of a syringe of filler put just into the upper lip and really only focusing it in that central area as well. Nothing here, just that central area to give a little bit of fullness so that it matches really nicely. Overall, you guys, after a year and 2 months after my lip lift journey, I am happy to say that I am so happy I did this. And when I look back at it, I'm upset I didn't do it or know about it sooner. I'm upset with myself that I did 7 years of lip filler without just doing what I could have done and been happy with the results. Like I feel like I spent 7 years being unsatisfied when I could have, and spending way more money than just doing a one-time thing. I am upset that I had such an allergic reaction that compromised my scar healing ability, but it is what it is, and you can't control everything. There is always a risk of any kind of procedure, anything. Hell, there's a risk to eating food. You could be allergic to shellfish and not even know it and have an allergic reaction. So you can't predict these things, and whenever you go into any procedure, take it with a grain of salt, know the risks, and it is what it is. I'm happy I did it. I'm really, like, I look back at photos and I'm like shocked. I'm like, oh, it looks so bad. I'm so happy I did this. But yeah, you guys, I really hope that this whole series could be a learning experience to any of you out there who was trying to find information on what getting a lip lift, a philtrum reduction is like, if it's right for you, and if it's something that you should be doing instead of lip fillers. For anyone who's not looking for this information and just enjoyed watching my journey, I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little bit of a circus for a few episodes, my God, but we are here at the end and I love it. So we're going to tie off this series here, but of course there's probably things that I missed, so please let me know all your questions in the comment section down below, and if there's a good amount of them, I will do another video just simply answering questions about the lip lift experience. But this is the end of my journey. This is the final result. This is what it is, and I'm in love with it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We do a lot of skincare related stuff, skincare routines, we do fashion, we do styling, we do weekly vlogs of my life. And if that sounds like a cup of tea, then join me for this. Join our whole family. It's a family here. We've been around for a long time, and I really love you guys and love having you join us. So definitely make sure you turn on the notification bell, or else YouTube will not be so kind to show my videos to you guys again. Only a small percentage of my audience actually gets recommended my videos when they go onto YouTube. So if you want to make sure you don't miss a video, I upload twice a week. Make sure you turn on that notification bell with the settings set to all notifications. You can also catch me on Instagram, where I'm uploading and doing things every single day. And check out my Korean skincare store. As a skincare specialist with 10 years of career level experience, I do have a skincare store where you guys can shop all my hand-picked, catered collection of Korean skincare that I love and use and swear by. So definitely check that out, and I will catch you guys next week. Bye!